Hello, hello! Welcome back, everybody. If I haven't said Happy New Year to you, you've missed out on our previous videos. Happy New Year! Where have you been? My name is Phil Marriott, and this is Sean Vickers. We are doing another movie review. How are you, Han?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. Happy New Year, everyone. Well, what a surprise. Here we are, Phil. New year, new video review.
I'm excited to hear your review of this because already, and we're only, a few days into the new year, we're seeing a lot of amazing films that have surfaced. I know this kind of came out last year, although we haven't actually had it released in this country yet, I don't think, but it was shown at many film festivals. I think Sundance, and it was shown at LFF. Is that where you saw it, LFF this year?
Yeah, so we're talking about Flee today, which is getting quite a lot of interest, which is why we thought we'd come and talk about it. It premiered at Sundance in 21. It then went through New York and Toronto, the usual lap. And I saw this at the end of last year at London Film Festival, and I'm thrilled to talk about it. And I'm thrilled that it's getting that kind of groundswell. There's always a film that pops up and this is a great movie, and it's kind of got that energy that we've seen before as we go into award season. So, great.
So it's a documentary, it's based on a true story, and it's animated. That's what I love about it, because it's thrown all the genres in, but it's kind of not really like an expected thing. It's like a documentary that's animated. That's quite a new thing, really. I mean, sure, there have been many before, but this seems to be something that a lot of people are talking about. It's quite groundbreaking in a lot of ways.
So let me give you a little bit of the backstory. So this is nominated for, on the Oscar shortlist 2022, it's nominated for Best Documentary Feature. It's nominated for Best International Feature. And it's also eligible for the Best Animated Feature. Some people are saying it's going to get all three, which is massive. I guess in my mind, it reminds me a little bit of Capernaum, the Nadine Labaki film from 2018, which just had this groundswell. Incredible. Again, set in the Middle East. It was based out of Lebanon. That was the Lebanese entry for the Best Foreign Language Film in 2019. And it's got that energy, I think. It feels like Capernaum did, where it just starts to snowball and get real energy. And to your point, Phil, it feels very new. Now, let's not forget that there was Waltz with Bashir, which was in 2008. I think that's correct. Directed by Ari Folman. Again, that was nominated for Best Foreign Language. So we have seen, to some extent, animation used in this documentary style format. But Flee feels very fresh and very new. And as you regular reviewers and listeners will know, I love a documentary.
So it's about somebody who's about to get married. This guy's about to get married to his fiancée. He's holding a secret that he's had for, 20 years, since childhood?
It's set in Denmark. It follows a character called Amin. Now, Amin may not be their real name. They're 36. They're about to get married. They're openly gay. And Amin has never really revealed his story to his fiancée about, his backstory. Now, his backstory is, it is a story about immigration, about him being a refugee, his father being captured by the Taliban. It's a very powerful story. Now, a lot of you will say, well, I've seen this. I think I've seen this immigration story before, and I think I've seen this refugee story before, but it is done in such an amazing way, and it's so heartfelt as we follow Amin and his story, because he has such a tight family network with his two sisters and older brother that all find themselves all over the world, as they become displaced following the war in Afghanistan. The family moved to Russia because they think that's the right way to go, but then they are oppressed when they get to Russia. It's quite bonkers. There are some very powerful moments. I'm not going to do too much of the story here, Phil, because I don't want to do any spoilers, but it is an incredible piece of documentary storytelling in a very different way than what we've seen before.
I saw the trailer for this morning, and I've got to say, it's only 2 minutes long, but I found it really powerful, even though it's just snippets of the film, obviously in a trailer form. But I really want to see it, because I didn't see it at LFF, and I wanted to, but just, you know what it's like at these festivals, you can't see everything because there's not enough time in the day. But what I love about this is that people are taking it really seriously, because obviously it's a serious subject matter, but with animation, that can sometimes be disregarded as something that children watch, and animation can have such a powerful effect on people. And obviously that's what's happened with this film, is that, people are embracing it because it's a powerful story told in animation form, but that doesn't mean that it's, something that we shouldn't take seriously, because it's so clever the way they do it.
Really clever, and it's really touching, We know from a very early age that Amin is gay, he's queer, That's is open throughout the story, but you see him, going back into himself in situations where it's not safe. So this idea of flee, he flees Afghanistan. At one point flees Russia. He flees kind of a corrupt police system. He flees a controlling governmental system. At some point he's fleeing his sexuality. And at other times he's fleeing his fears. So the idea of flee is so powerful, and it runs throughout the whole of this documentary. And it tells a story, not only being a refugee, but a queer refugee trying to find some sense of stability and to try and bring back this family unit that suddenly becomes cast across the world. So, yeah, really, really important story. As I mentioned earlier, this is the Danish official entry to the Oscars for the films I've mentioned. And I think it will do incredibly well. And you will recognize elements of this story, so I don't want to go too much into it. I won't say it follows a classic refugee story arc, because it does not. But there are elements of it. But what I would say to it, come with an open mind, because I think people say, oh, well, I know this, as I say earlier, I know this narrative, I understand this kind of fight, I understand the struggle. I would say come to Flee with an open mind, because it is an incredible, powerful piece of work.
And we can't say when it's out because we don't know. There's still no release date, which is bizarre, because I thought after all this time there would be one. Maybe they're saving the right time, saving it for the right time.
I mean, to be honest, if this does what we think it will do at the Oscars, it will go into general release, and I'm thrilled for that. The same thing happened with Capernaum. It will, Neon, I think, who's a distribution company or production company, they are probably waiting, Phil, to be honest, for the right moment to drop Flee, because I think it should go onto a wider general release, and it probably just needs that platform. And I do believe that the shortlist of the Oscars is going to do that. And
you said a lot of people are talking about it as well.
Yeah, there's a real buzz about it. Yeah.
So it's called Flee. Let us know if you have seen it. I know a lot of people have seen it already, obviously at the festivals. It was shown at LFF this year. Check out the LFF playlist, which is on the screen right now. I know you can't see it, Sean, but it is there. It's there. Somewhere there. And thank you, Sean, as always. We'll be back soon for another movie review. Don't forget to like and subscribe, do your thing, support this channel, share this video as well. We'd love you to share it.
Love that.